Yeah, so I couldn't see anything or listen to the broadcast or whatever.
Okay.
Whatever you're doing sucked.
I know, it was horrible. It was horrible.
Whenever I answer the phone, I'm like, hello.
What pissed you off?
It's a great argument to have.
I love my mom, but I think she's half crazy for doing that.
How dare you?
Do you work with your girlfriend, Mark? Or your wife?
I keep them separated. Sometimes I call people, they don't answer the phone. I'm like,
Wrong number, click.
Well, he's not that smart. But sometimes he sounds like he knows what he's doing.
yeah.
Go.
Therefore, you're an ass, and I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah, but what do we know? Anyways, guys,
I'm Mike.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Mark.
We'll never get that right, but it's okay that we'll never get that right because
I'm Mike.
I'm Jeff.
I like the
Specifically making sure that we don't get that right. So
I'm Mike.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Mark.
Damn it. Thought I was gonna sneak that one
Make
in
up your
there.
mind, Jeff.
So,
After.
what's the basic plan for today, guys? And then I gotta tell you, I got a surprise for you.
Okay. Well, I think we're just going to discuss some brands, see if we could tell the difference between, flavors. Like, I think we buy a lot of products, and we did the show before where we store brand versus, professional brand, or I don't know what else you would call it.
Store brand versus like national brand versus
National brand.
generic brands, like
And we say we tend to buy generic because we can't really taste the difference. But it sort of gets me to think, like, can we tell the difference, especially between two national brands? Like, if I were to ask you, which one's better, McDonald's or Burger King? Which would, hands down, which burger chain is better?
What are you referring to? The fries at McDonald's are better.
yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot of differences that can go into this.
What's
Given
happening?
the choice.
What's
Hey, you wanna go Burger
happening? I told you guys I got a surprise for you today. If you could just do it faster.
So,
King? Oh.
wow.
What's up, dude?
Oh, look what
Oh, we
the
have
cat
a
drug in and the dog
member.
will play with.
Sadly, it makes it so I have to readjust everything I just did. I just realized.
You gotta redo the whole screen.
I have to
now.
redo this whole
Oh.
screen capture.
What's going on, Brian?
Nothing. It's another
So,
day.
for those of you new to the What Do We Know podcast, this is Brian. And for those of you who have listened in the past and heard us talk about Brian, this is him in the flesh.
And I have terrible lighting in here. Jeff and I tried to fix it. I apologize. If I do this, it gets worse. Is that
Right.
worse? Yeah.
Yeah, it's about the same.
I'm trying to make
It's
everybody
actually a
visible
benefit.
right now.
It's a benefit to the viewers to not really see my face. It's pretty awful.
I agree. But
Well, they're used to looking at us, so
Yeah, that's true.
we're much better on audio podcast form.
the nice thing is, Brian was also able to get himself ready in very quick order that he's going to partake in the same challenge that we are today.
Yeah, nice.
Poor Mark.
So I had I didn't actually was able to obtain some Pepsi, so I don't have a Pepsi or Coke bottle to drink from. So today we're gonna see if we're gonna do the Pepsi challenge or the Coke challenge or whatever
I gotta
challenge
get my
you wanna call it,
glasses. Hold on.
to see if if anybody can really tell a difference, or if you actually prefer one flavor over the other.
So, Mark, I have to ask you this. You were the one who wanted to do the blind taste test in the first place.
No, when I messaged you, I said like, oh, you want to talk about which one do you prefer, Pepsi or versus Coke? I didn't say anything about blind taste test.
No, we talked about it in the show. We specifically talked about in
Talked
the
about
show doing the blind taste test of Pepsi versus Coke.
We did, Mark.
Well, that was last week. That was a whole week ago.
I was gonna say that's like when you said today, you were like, "Let's do the Pepsi versus Coke challenge," and I was like, "Oh, sweet! I better go get some Pepsi and
Exactly.
Coke."
Yeah, that was totally
Sure, I
your
didn't
message to
specifically
us.
say challenge. I said we could talk about Pepsi versus Coke. But
So-
semantics aside,
So that's what we'll be doing today. And Mark, unfortunately, you'll be doing a different challenge.
Mark will be
Yeah,
doing
that's okay.
nothing. So what I'm doing, FYI for people watching me at home, I have 2 identical rock glasses with ice, and I've posted Coke and Pepsi, and so
got the
when
same
I
setup
fill
about
them
to
with
happen
cola,
here.
hopefully they will look exactly the same.
I've got the same setup here. P and C on the bottom of mine. By the way, Brian, one of the people. You're not just on the podcast right now. We're live on Twitch. So somebody just said, "Brian, you one good-looking guy."
Wow.
His name is
Who said
Mr.
that?
Diddles. Mr. Diddles.
I appreciate that, Mr. Diddles.
he does, though. He does.
So,
Mr.
for you
Diddles
guys,
would say that.
my drinks were made by my wife. She brought them in to me,
So he doesn't even know which one's which.
She did 2 glasses that are different, so she knows which one's which. But
Okay.
Hello, Brian's wife, by the way.
she's floating around somewhere.
And just so people can see, I've got Coke, I've got Pepsi.
See,
I have identical glasses except for the bottom.
and here's the thing that I would have done, and we don't know if your wife might have done this as well, Brian.
Put
is that
salt in one of the glasses.
I might have put Coke in both the glasses
Ooh,
and see if
sneaky.
someone can say
All
if you could tell the difference. But
right, I'm going to pour mine.
Yeah, I'm pouring mine as well.
I'm gonna tell the difference.
Making sure.
While Mark is discussing conspiracy theories, I'm going to fill mine up.
well, I mean, do we have predictions? Do you think you can tell the difference?
Mike for sure thinks he can tell the difference. He's already told me that he doesn't even feel like he should have to do this challenge because he knows.
I think you can
Right.
smell the difference.
Well, that can be part of the test as well. Smelling the
Yeah,
difference.
I'm like not like I'll be surprised if I can't tell the difference.
I honestly think this is going to be easy as well. However, they always do that random like thing on TV and people do it and I don't know if it's real or not. So I always wonder like maybe you can tell the difference.
Well, when I think they do the Pepsi challenge most often is that they give you a little shot glass to taste which one do you prefer, A or B. And
Right.
because Pepsi tends to be sweeter, you initially say, I like the sweeter thing. But for me, drinking way too much sweets, like it's sort of a turn off. I sort of like I sort of like it less and less as I drink Pepsi. Versus Coke, it's sort of like has multiple flavors. It got sort of a cinnamon, sort of a bite to it. So I could drink a whole bunch of Coke.
Okay. So one thing
Right.
I'm realizing, and I don't know if you guys can see it as well with the way I'm putting it off, my Pepsi is way more air bubbles
Yeah.
in it. I can
Mine are
physically
very
see it. Well, I'm trying to like knock the air bubbles out of my Pepsi so it looks the same.
Mine are very, very similar, and if you're looking, they're about the same level full. So, and I'm just kind of switching them back and forth. Again, I have them labeled on the bottom.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same because I don't want to know. I don't want to remember which one's in what order. But I'm gonna just do this for a while until like I feel. So, Mark, you think you would easily be able to tell as well the difference?
I think as well, yes. I think because Pepsi does have I think, very distinct sweetness to it.
I
while
think it does.
Coke
I think
has
it does too.
Has a bite to it, I think.
I absolutely agree. Like, I could not agree more, which is why I think I'm totally going to be able to tell the difference.
Brian,
Now-
your prediction?
Oh, I'll
For
be able
sure.
to tell the
For
difference.
sure. Like, wait, are you drinking regular or diet? Because you said you were drinking diet, right?
I did do diet. I did.
So you're doing Diet Pepsi versus Diet Coke.
I'm doing Pepsi Max versus Coke Zero.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I like that.
I wanted to be able to drink both of them later, and those are the only ones I really like. So, I was just being a little frugal when I bought them at the store.
Okay. I think I've got mine mixed around in a way that I forgot which one is which.
I've been mixing mine this whole time, so I'm certain there's no way I know which is which.
So, now, question. Do you think you can tell by the smell, as was pointed out?
Okay.
I'm still
So-
mixing mine.
We should keep going on this.
Wait,
Somebody in the chat said Pepsi tastes like perfume.
It does not.
I'll go to a restaurant, and if they don't serve Pepsi, I don't get a soda. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
won't-
right. You were the Pepsi guy, weren't you?
Yeah.
I forgot
Oh,
because
I'm
paying
for a Coke.
you used to get Pepsis at Sharky's, but they didn't have them in the tap, so you'd have
So I
to
have to get the bottle.
you'd have to get the bottle, and then that one was like expired by 2
Yeah,
years
they
or
were always
whatever.
outdated by like 6 months. And I still drink it. It's still good.
You were like, something's wrong with this Pepsi. I'm like, you can't tell that. Oh yeah, you can. Oh yes, you can.
Oh,
Okay.
Jeff's not drinking Pepsi.
I
So-
didn't
so,
taste
okay,
test with
so-
the Pepsi.
No.
Brian, you definitely prefer Pepsi. Mike, Coke or Pepsi? Which one do you prefer?
Coke, and it's not close.
Jeff?
I prefer Coke as well, but at the same time, I have not had straight up Coke. Like, this is straight, I have not had a straight up Coke in years. It's been either Diet Coke or Coke Zero. Cherry Coke Zero is what I prefer.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, well-
and actually, interestingly enough, like if you want to talk cherry, I'm much bigger cherry Pepsi than I am cherry Coke.
Oh, no way. I'm much more cherry Coke than anything else.
So you're cherry Pepsi over cherry Coke, but Coke over, or cherry, yeah, but Coke over Pepsi.
Cherry Pepsi, but Coke over Pepsi.
Wow. Interesting.
And for me, I really don't like any of the diet sodas.
I didn't mention diet in any facet.
No, I'm saying I don't like any diet sodas.
I like Diet Soda.
I love.
I don't mind diet soda.
I like Zero better. A lot better.
Yes, then Diet Coke.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
a huge difference.
Which one has aspartame or
Zero.
sweetener?
Zero.
Or one, maybe Pepsi One. Wait,
Probably
so
won't.
there's Pepsi One and Pepsi Max. What's the difference between Pepsi One and Pepsi Max?
Pepsi Max is supposed to have like ginseng and other stuff, more caffeine.
Oh, it's more
Zero
caffeine in
calories,
Pepsi Max.
Yes. Yeah, it's higher caffeine.
But does it have less calories?
It's still zero.
Oh,
Zero
it's or one.
There you say zero.
So why did they make Pepsi One then?
Because it's
Yeah.
1 calorie?
Well, why not
Cheers.
make Pepsi Zero? Is that like, was that infringing
When
on
was the last
Coke?
time you saw a Pepsi One?
When's the last time I tried to seek out Pepsi though? Like that's the question. This taste test might change my mind though. By the way, any companies out there
Oh,
who think
Yeah,
they might
I was
want
gonna
to
say.
sponsor a taste test by this wonderful podcast here, we're
This is
willing to
not-
take offers.
Not the first time we've shamefully promoted ourselves to companies.
Okay, let me ask you another question because you left the Michigan area, now living in the DC area, Jeff. Do you say pop or soda?
I have graduated to saying soda more, but not
Graduated.
because, well, not because I want to say soda over pop, because people don't understand pop. Everybody understands soda.
Right.
I prefer to say pop, but pop is not the norm out here. I call it pop.
I've sort of graduated to soda, even though I've never left Michigan for the same reason. And
Really?
I do like a significant amount of traveling between North Carolina and Houston. And it's just sort of easier when you go to those places. Like, they understand soda. And when you say pop, they look at you funny.
Yeah, it's
So-
funny. It's the terms. It's funny because soda. Everybody knows soda. If you said the term soda pop, people would know what you were talking about. But if you say pop, if it's a region that says soda, they have no idea. Like soda is universal.
Yeah.
I was actually going to say the exact opposite. When I was younger, I was like 10, and I had my cousin from Hawaii come over, and we're playing basketball, and he asked for a soda, and I'm just really looking at him like,
Well, that's just
know what you're talking
because
That's Mich-
you were young and naive.
Yeah, well, I'm still naive.
And
Just
you
not-
also, you were just baffled that he didn't ask for a Hawaiian punch. Like, you
Yeah,
didn't
probably.
understand. Like, okay, taste test away.
I know. I'm still
You know
mixing
what?
my sodas.
I need to like mix my glasses more because I can still see air bubbles in the side of one. All that mixing, and now I can still tell just by
Well,
looking at them.
just
There we
don't
go.
look.
How does that happen? Because mine have been totally
I don't know.
flat. Like the
Well,
whole
mine
time.
when I poured the Pepsi, it had more air bubbles that just collected on the side of the glass. I don't know. Maybe it was a dirty glass.
Mike's came out of a 2-liter though, right?
Both of mine, yeah.
Yeah.
Mine.
Were they
mine came out
open before?
20 ounces.
Well, actually, the Coca-Cola was.
Uh-oh. Is it going to be flat? Have you tainted this test?
No, they're both the same. No, and actually,
I can't
this
tell
Coke,
if it's flat by looking at it, sir.
No, it's not flat. It's in a cup.
the
Are we gonna
Coke
go one at a
2-liter
time? Or
If people are wondering what I'm doing, I'm spinning like my glasses right now. I'm looking all crazy at the camera, like, hey, like I'm leaning up to where my counter's at.
It's kind of turning me on
Well, what
Just
up,
trying to
baby?
right now too.
So I heard you like Coke.
I kind of like that look in you.
Okay,
okay,
We gonna do this?
I think I'm good now. Should we start with smelling? See if we can smell the difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
alright,
feel like I absolutely can smell the difference. By the way,
how so? How is Coke versus Pepsi then? Which
I
one?
just feel like I can smell like okay. So Pepsi
we
is
should-
sweeter. We already talked about this, and Coke is a little more acidic. I totally feel like this is more acidic without even tasting it. Like I just feel like this is Coke already.
This is Coke Zero. I guarantee it. And this is my Pepsi.
I'm thinking that this is my Coke and this is my Pepsi. I'm thinking,
Alright.
but they're really, really similar in smells.
Can I taste? I don't feel like they're similar at all.
Can we taste?
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
I spilled a little trying to swish.
A little bit of a problem. Okay, so anyone definitive? Like I know for sure.
I think my smell
This
was
is not-
wrong.
This is not
I-
going quickly.
I was gonna say I hate that I do not know definitively after tasting.
Is there one that you like better?
That's a good question to find out which one we like better before actually.
Yeah.
See, my thing is, I like this one better, the one
Right.
on my left hand, and I'm pretty sure this is the Coke. The right hand is sweeter. However, I said the opposite during the smell test, that
Okay.
I thought it was the other way around.
You think Coke's
the
sweeter?
same exact thing for me. Like I said, this was Coke, and I smelled it was Coke, and after taste testing, I am totally not convinced. In fact, if I had to lean one way, I think it's the opposite.
Brian, what about you?
I think my initial reactions were right. I think this is Coke and this is Pepsi, but I can't taste the difference between the two anymore. Like at first I thought I could, but it was very close, and now they taste exactly the same.
That is so funny that it is way harder than. Like, have you ever gone to a restaurant when you were just like, I'd like a Coke, and they bring you something and you're drinking it,
Oh,
and you're like,
yeah.
this is Pepsi.
Yes.
Like, and you can tell so
Yeah.
obviously at that point.
However,
Especially-
now that I've taken like a handful of drinks, I feel like my smell was totally wrong, and I'm almost positive that this is Coke.
Okay, so let's find out.
Okay,
But
hold up the one you
let's-
think is Coke.
Well,
This
let's
is
do this
my
one at a
Coke.
time. Let's do this one at a time. A little easier for the listeners, okay?
No,
So let's start
listeners,
with,
you guys have to adapt to us.
I don't know which one's which. I gotta go find out.
Well, you can tell
Oh,
you, but
well,
you
you
already
could-
told us the tall glass is Coke for you.
Yeah.
So
Right.
once you find out, we know the tall glass for you is Coke.
Okay.
Okay. So let's start with Mike then. Okay? So Mike,
Alright.
which one do you like better?
I like this one better, and I totally feel like it's Coke. But I already told you, like, I felt going into this that I was biased that Coke was better.
Okay. So you like
So if-
Coke.
If
and you
this
think
is
it's
Pepsi,
Coke.
then apparently I like Pepsi better because this is the one I like better.
I hope it's Pepsi.
Come on, Pepsi.
All right, should I check?
Yep, check.
All right. It is Pepsi.
I love it.
I like that.
I love
So,
it.
Oh no!
are you a convert now, Mike?
I don't know. I don't know what to think of this.
It's so good.
Wow.
So your smell was right, but your taste was wrong.
Right.
That's
How weird is that?
So, I guess moving on to
No.
me, I smelled and thought that this was Pepsi, but I'm
Right.
pretty sure taste-wise it's Coke, and I do like
Wow.
it better than the other one.
So this is the one you like better.
Yep. And you know what? I can see it. It is Coke, but I'll get the thing off to show you guys. So I thought it smelled like Pepsi though. I thought it smelled. That's my C. I don't know
What
if you
is
guys.
that?
it's I drew a C. I'll show you my P so you know it's not a P.
You're gonna show us your pee.
I'll
We
show
don't
you
want
my
this to be an
pee.
X-rated podcast.
Hold on. Let me get the P off at the bottom of this one so you can see that I didn't just mix it up.
No wonder you didn't like that one. It's P
It's I don't even know if you can see that.
in the bottom.
I can't
Okay.
believe what just happened there.
So I
So
tasted and enjoyed the Coke better, but you smelled and enjoyed the Pepsi the most. Like,
Okay.
I can't believe that.
So okay, now with diet soda, Ryan, you have to find out. So which one do you think is Coke before you go ask your wife?
I thought the tall glass is Coke, and I actually think the tall glass tastes better than the Pepsi, which
then
is a-
the other glass, you mean? Since
Yeah,
you
the
don't
short-
know that it's Pepsi.
I'm very confident that I've got these right though. This is Coke.
So was I.
This is Coke. This is Pepsi.
So where's your wife?
I don't know. I'll find her.
We must wait until he finds his wife.
This was a well thought out
Okay.
plan.
So are you a convert, Mike? Do you think like it doesn't matter now? If one's on
Well-
sale, would you get the other?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, like, we don't drink pop very often or soda, whatever. So, I don't know. Maybe.
You were
Like,
so like let me find the text message because this is going to prove all.
I freely admit it. Like, I totally thought that this was going to be a waste of time for me.
I was saying that I was going to be a little bit late, but got to wait until at least 8 o'clock for the podcast starting. I said, "Do you have Coke and Pepsi?" Mike's response is, "No. Do I need it? I have a firm stance on the topic." And I said, "Oh, I thought we were talking about blind taste testing." And he said he's got a 2 liter. I guess this isn't the conversation where you said that you knew the taste. Maybe that was in the Twitch or in the in the Skype right beforehand.
Skype.
But yeah, he definitely straight up in a text that we had to each other was like, "This is like dumb because I know that I'm gonna know which one's which."
Yeah. I thought there was no way that this was going to be a thing. Like, I thought this was going to be, honestly, I thought this was going to be like a 15-minute segment that we threw out like in the wash and never went to air because it was just like such a waste of time. We all knew what we were drinking. I was
Okay,
totally.
so Brian, how
Yes.
about you? Did you find out?
I did, and I was right. This is Coke.
So Brian knows his drinks.
I do.
Brian
But
likes his drinks.
I like Coke better, and I am truly a Pepsi guy. I will go Diet Pepsi any day of the week, but maybe Pepsi Max isn't for me.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. You said you liked it better, but you're the Pepsi.
Alright.
I blew my mind.
Yeah.
So-
They're both good though. I would drink them both.
Now,
But Coke-
okay, let's
Coke-
do. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say the Coke tasted. I don't know. It was just had a crisper taste to me than the Pepsi.
Now, I was thinking we should do another experiment because we did say that you can smell the difference, right?
Yes.
And
He
I
did.
was told
None of us
that-
did. I mean, we smelled the difference, but we did not smell it correctly. Different.
Right,
Well, I did.
no.
I smelled it correctly. I didn't taste it correctly.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
I
right.
think I got both spot on. I smelled and tasted correctly.
Who invited him, by the way?
No, a big thing about taste is smell. And it's been shown through several studies that it's really hard to tell flavors without using your sense of smell. Now, I know, Jeff, you don't really believe me, and I was told that like coffee and tea, two things that we are pretty sure have pretty distinct flavors, becomes a lot more muddied when you lose your sense of smell. So I was wondering if maybe Pepsi and Coke, is there a difference if you plug your nose, or does your certainty becomes even lower?
Well, clearly, we didn't even need to plug our nose to not be able to tell the difference there.
That's true, but not with. Hold on.
Well, coffee and tea, like you can see the difference in that. So that has to be in some sort of
Like
solid.
you're blind. Yeah.
Yeah, that has to be a blind taste, that's for sure.
I will tell you that plugging my nose and just sipping both of those, they both taste like water. I taste absolutely nothing when I was tasting those.
Which is weird, isn't it? Like, here's something you have a distinct flavor, and now it's nothing.
I still
It's
don't
like,
think I could ever, if they were significantly different enough, and I wish I could do this with you, Mark, but somebody decided to go randomly boil water right before we started recording so
I know,
they
I
could
could
do
have
this.
totally done this. I definitely have tea and coffee both upstairs. I could have done this. Mark went rogue.
I don't think I could do. I don't think I could. I could be deceived by
Or-
things that were
or-
so different.
More appropriately, Mark went kamikaze on it.
That's true, Mark and Kamikaze.
So I made tea and coffee, and you can see the difference. So I've been basically switching them around without looking, and I still haven't looked into the cup, right? So I want to try to plug my nose, and I'm either going to be drinking coffee or I'm going to be drinking tea, and I want to see if I could taste the difference, okay? So here's the first one.
He's a ninja.
You don't have to chug it.
That definitely tasted like water, okay?
So it's probably tea.
Good
Right.
pot.
And
It all depends on how strong he makes his tea and coffee, too, I would think.
Right. I make
okay,
super
so
strong coffee.
So what was that one?
difference. I can tell the difference just because coffee has a bitter taste, and it not necessarily like a flavor, but it has like.
Taste is not flavor.
Well, I mean, it's something. It's a little bit different. Like whatever, it's like an after bite or whatever it is. But it's almost impossible to do because as soon as I like set down the tea to grab the other one, I unplug my nose.
And you
then
could
can
instantly
just
taste
smell
it.
Yeah, just
Oh,
smell it
gotcha.
as soon as I unplug my nose. So I think maybe they're too similar. I mean, it would be a lot more similar if I didn't smell it throughout the whole test. But
So I got something I want to try.
okay,
Do you guys know what this is? I'm not
bottle.
showing the camera.
Turn it around.
I don't want to yet. I'm just seeing if you guys could tell what it
Old
was.
English.
Looks like beer.
A Yingling. Bacon.
Bacon.
Oh, wow.
Bacon soda.
What?
Have you ever had bacon soda?
No, I heard of it though.
Nor have I. So, I just realized I don't have a bottle opener down here, but we'll try to find a way to open this thing up. I got this for a gag gift for Christmas. It came with a bacon bowl, which
You know what's
is
funny?
amazing, by the way.
Is last Christmas I actually got a gag, well, yeah, kind of a gag gift from my niece. It was bacon popcorn.
I think bacon is just the thing for gags. You know why?
Yeah,
Because
Guess so.
if you give somebody a piece of shit in a box, they're just going to be like, this is a piece of shit in a box. If you give them bacon something random, they're going to be like,
Bacon-flavored shit in a
who would
box.
want bacon flavored something? But then you're going to be like, the bacon flavor might be good. I would try bacon flavored shit in a box probably. I'd be like, well, it's shit in a box, but it's bacon flavored.
I
good.
wouldn't go that
think I
far.
would.
Oh, I would.
You guys just aren't experimental enough.
Jeff,
Bacon.
you eat shit for
I
breakfast?
eat shit for breakfast. Here we go. It's been sitting in my
Okay.
house since Christmas.
All right, do it. Chug it.
It smells like
That's-
shit.
Drink it down.
It smells like bacon flavored shit in a box.
Bottoms up.
How's the flavor?
It's definitely a gag gift. There's no question about that.
You know
Take
what?
us on a journey, Jeff. Describe the flavor. What goes through your mind?
It's
You
like-
see pigs flying.
It's like sweet. It's got a weird sweetness to it with this fake bacon flavor. Have you ever had those fake flavors before where they try to make something taste like something and you're like, well, I can tell that they're trying, but it's really not there. But
Right.
it's really sweet.
You know what the worst part about this taste test is? Is
You
that
don't get any of it.
when Jeff lost a bet and had to eat a whole lemon, skin and all, he didn't make the faces that he made just now testing
You guys
this.
should have told me to drink some baking soda. Is that
Like
bad?
this is a
Like,
way worse reaction than when we
this
made
is-
him eat the whole lemon.
Hey, make me eat a whole lemon, I'll suck it up and take it. Like, if you guys had bet me to do this, I'd be like, hey, this is delicious. And I'd probably chug it all down with a straight face, just going, But now that I'm actually doing it for real, it's pretty bad.
So, all right,
Oh, talking
we have
about
Brian
bets.
on finally. We've hinted about it. Haven't made it happen till today.
All right.
So, Brian,
Yes.
I have a couple questions for you. Number one, over your what would be right shoulder, there's a bottle of blue stuff. Yeah.
It's water.
Oh, that's a water bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Behind you, you have a serious cat condo going on.
I do. I do. For Homer the cat.
Homer the
That's
cat.
Wait,
just
Homer
for
the
one
cat.
That's a serious structure for one feline.
Wait, well, hold on a second, because we can't see it right now unless my view is off.
Oh, I see it.
No, we see that. Go up to your left a little bit. Is this Homer the cat? Is that what you call Homer the cat?
That Homer?
Yes.
No, that's Homer Simpson.
Okay, I'm just making sure that there wasn't some like sick delusional thing going on. Like, no, that's Homer the cat's house.
I
Like,
bought my stuffed animal a giant house. It was a great deal.
I was just trying to make sure things were.
I haven't made a lot of friends in Florida.
So I'm assuming the cat's named after Homer Simpson and not the Odyssey or anything like that.
No, he's not an intelligent cat.
Where is the cat right now?
He was here. I tried to get him to come up, but he left. He's
Camera shy.
Well, he's a smart, somewhat intelligent cat. If he was like the "What Do We Know" podcast, f that, I'm out of here.
Well, it's good to finally have you on, Brian. We've talked about it a couple times, and
I'm
Make
very
it happen.
excited to be here, and I appreciate the offer. I got your text earlier, and then Jeff got to me, and he said, "Don't tell them that you're going to be on the show." And I never
I didn't-
replied to you.
I didn't know that you had texted him, Mike. I actually was about to head home from here, and I was like, Brian, do you want to be on the show tonight? And he was like, yes. And I was like, well, hell, don't tell the guys. It's going to be a surprise.
yeah. Well, when you sent me a text and you said you weren't sure if you could make it or not, I sent Brian a text and said, "Hey, we might need help. Are you going to be around?"
Nice.
So I think our audience, they don't really know Brian. So I think.
I don't think our audience
first-
knows us too well either. So it's.
Well, first, I just want to say that Brian's a little bit younger than us. So when we first met Brian, he was sort of like I wouldn't say baby of our group, but you were like sort of younger, and we were doing a lot of mischief. I think,
We
Brian, you were
corrupted
doing a lot of
him.
mischief to yourself, but
I was
Wait, so-
corrupted well before
Yeah, I
I.
was going to say. I actually, now I take that back. He was kind of corrupt before we got over.
actually, we reined you in a little bit, I think.
We
think
helped
so,
him
too.
be corrupt. We were enablers.
But Brian, do you still work out all the time?
I do. I actually just hurt so I have a really funny story, actually. I hurt my back the other day, so I haven't worked out this week. And the reason I hurt my back is because I was lifting an industrial dehumidifier into my car, which has an interesting story. So, you guys ever heard of Daily Steals? No, it's a website where like these things that are on like super discount go online and you can you buy them and you get it for next to nothing.
Okay.
Well, they had this really embarrassing story. It's called a bio bidet, right? So we all know what a bidet does, and this is kind of like the white trash version of a bidet, where you hook it up to your toilet line. And it sits on the back of the toilet seat, Mike. And
Oh, I almost bought one of these
they're
years
awesome.
ago.
They're awesome. Honest to God, it's amazing. So
You're always supposed to hook them up to the hot water line, though, because otherwise it's going to just be cold water.
See, in Florida, the groundwater is always warm.
Okay, so that's
actually
okay.
getting cold water is harder than getting warm water down here. So, so I got this thing hooked up, and it's working great for a week. And I'm thinking, like, this was such a good investment. I'm going to save so much money on toilet paper.
Wait. Are bidets replacements for toilet paper?
No. But like you use significantly less because it just kind of.
I was gonna say there's never a double wipe involved. I would imagine.
Right, exactly. It's one wipe and you're done. You're good.
One and done. Sure.
One and done.
We need to start a bidet company, and that's what we will call it. It will just be one and done.
One and done. I'm on board with that. Okay.
It'll come with a pack of 100 square tissues of toilet paper, and it will be like
ply.
this will be your year supply of like.
All right, proceed, Brian.
Well, all right. So a week's going by, and this thing's it's wonderful. And on Tuesday night, leading into Tuesday morning, my wife woke up about 3:00 in the morning. She had a headache, and that's why she got up, and she never there was nothing wrong with the house, so she went back to bed, like just walked around, went back to bed. We wake up at about 7:30 and the house is flooded, and it's because the gasket for this awesome Daily Steel bio bidet broke and flooded my new house. So my bathroom. And I, God bless my wife. She was so calm. She came and woke me up. She's like, "Hey, the bathroom's flooded," and I'm like, "Oh," like okay. Then I get up, and it's a pool inside where the toilet is, and it leads out into the master bathroom. I'm like, "This isn't bad." I text my boss. I'm just gonna mop it up real quick, and then I walk into my guest bedroom, which is still connected to the bathroom a little bit, and it's just soaking wet, and we just got new carpet put in there, and it's it's all from my awesome money-saving bio bidet, which ended up costing me just a crap ton of money because I had to buy a shop vac, and I had to rip out the padding. And I missed a day of work. I actually missed 2 days of work. I worked from home. I called in one day and worked from home next. And then threw out my back, loading up these industrial rentals that I got to dry my house. But you know what? I swear to you, this bio bidet was so nice that I want another. Like I really, after all that, I would still buy maybe a better class one. I'm telling you, you haven't lived until you've had.
Or just put a
Water
drain in your
squirted up the
bathroom, and you'll be all set in case it does explode. Like it won't be a big deal. But like, now the reason you had to clean it up on your own, is it because when you called the plumbing company and they were like, "What's the problem?" and you were like, "Well, my bidet exploded," they were like, "Okay, that'll be $10,000 for us to come out," because they assume like if you got a bidet, like you're this like rich person. Were they trying to gouge you because it was your bidet that exploded?
I never called anybody. I didn't call anybody. I just did it. I knew I was going to fix this myself because it was that or take out an insurance claim on the house or call one of those emergency services, and I figured I could fix it. If I can break it. That's kind of like my house in general. This is the first home I've owned, and I try to make things better, but honestly in the process I just make it significantly worse. And then it's me trying to clean up after I've made it worse.
I was going to make the argument that you said you would buy another one of those, just
I would.
like slightly upgrade of the bio bidets or whatever.
Yeah.
You should just buy an actual bidet like built into the toilet. It would be cheaper in the long run.
Well, you can't build, like the bidets are separate from toilets in fancy people's houses. So you actually have to like get up after you're done and move to the bidet and then move back to the toilet to finish up. Like that just doesn't seem. No?
Well, you get like the ones like in Japan.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think so.
What do you have in Japan?
I always thought they were separate
Well, yeah,
things as
traditionally
well.
they are separate. But like a lot of the ones in Japan, if you go to like those, like sometimes I go to a nice restaurant and they have the bathrooms where it's just the toilet seat, and then there's you press a button, like this little nozzle comes out, and then you press a button and it sprays. You could adjust the water strength. You could change the water temperature. You can.
Do you use bidets all the time, Mark?
I really actually don't. I don't like bidets.
That's like exactly
To be
what
honest.
mine was. The nozzle would drop, and you could adjust the pressure. You couldn't
Right.
change the temperature, but that was
Well,
in
does the
same
seat-
thing.
You could also plug it in and have it like it has to be plugged in, but you can also have it so the seat's warm. Like
Oh no.
I hate that. I absolutely hate that option.
Why
Why?
would you hate that? That's the
That's
thing I
amazing.
hate worst about toilets is cold toilets.
That's one thing I hate about cars, warm car seats, like the cars with seat warmers, is they
Yeah.
make me feel like I have to shit whenever I sit in the seat. Like, if I could have a toilet that had a heated seat, I could take care of so much stuff all at once.
Oh, cold toilet seats are like my arch nemesis. I can't imagine not liking a heated toilet seat.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I guess it's sort of like growing up without that option. So like the first thing my mind associates with a warm toilet seat is someone else just used the toilet. So like I don't know, like, it just feels weird or wrong.
But
when
at
I
the
sit
at the
down.
same time, I grew up without like steak and beer every day. It doesn't mean I don't grow up and I'm like, that's delicious and wonderful. Not like because I didn't have it when I was a child that I don't want it as an adult. Like,
That's right, graduate, Mark. Come on.
start calling
gotta-
it soda
you gotta-
for the love of God, man.
You got to
Well-
take the training wheels off sometime.
But as for bidets, I just don't like the feeling of them. Like heated toilet seats, I don't really care for, but like the bidet, I tried it a few times, tried to get used to it, tried to get to liking it. No, overall, I just
The only question I have about a bidet is I'd be concerned, like toilet paper, it gets really like all the fuzzies will come out if anything gets wet around it. You can't,
Yeah.
you're going to have to wipe your ass somehow to dry it before you put your pants and stuff back on.
all right,
You can't use toilet paper for that because
but you do.
but it would
Yeah,
start
yeah.
getting all like, really? Wouldn't it start like falling apart and like,
It does. So that's part of another reason why I don't really care
see
for it.
that
I
I
think
can
it-
see being a problem.
It probably depends on the quality of toilet paper that you're getting.
I would need like a bidet towel.
Oh,
that-
sorry, I don't use your.
So you hope you don't put on the face towel rack.
Toilet paper there, Brian. You got a bidet and you got like 5-ply toilet paper or something.
So that's where all your money save just went away right there because that one square of toilet tissue you use is the equivalent of our whole like worst dump in the world
I-
wipe.
I use Costco toilet paper. It's not that expensive. It's great toilet paper.
That's what I
It
use
works
as
for
well.
Costco now.
Well, how about this though? Instead of using toilet paper in a bidet, how about wet wipes? Do you ever use that? Not like the ones specifically for bathrooms, though.
Yeah, I tried that for a little while, but I couldn't get into it.
Well, I feel like a bidet naturally like gets you wet. Like that's the purpose of it. So like if you use wet wipes, you're not going to soak anything up. It's just going to be, sort of.
No, but I use it just
Of
like
course, you're
toilet
still
paper.
going to have to dry yourself off at some point.
So I've never used them.
That
I've
way.
always thought about it.
Oh,
I
you
did.
did? Like,
You know
Right.
what though?
You're gonna do it now?
yeah, he's going to spray himself up the butthole right now with water.
I was sent these
Trying to stop
actually,
it up.
and I haven't used them yet. They're One Wipe Charlies by Dollar Shave Club.
All right.
Dollar Shave Club sent me these.
Oh, this podcast just took a turn for the worst.
I'm so tempted. I wish I had to poop right now. I'd take a break and come back and tell you my experience,
Oh.
but
I never thought
unfortunately
I'd
do
say
not.
this, but I wish you did too.
Yes, but the One Wipe I've had these sitting there for like months. Dollar Shave Club sent me a lot of stuff that I was reviewing and testing out, and this is one thing I haven't gotten to yet on that list.
You know what? I actually know somebody who's does the Dollar Shave Club, and they said they love those.
I do. I have the Dollar Shave. I'm a member as well as they sent me some of stuff on the side of what my membership was. I have the razors are kind of beginning at the Dollar Shave Club right now. The razors are amazing. It's not the dollar tier. I'm on the $9 tier, the executive. So it's still $9 a month. They send you 4 6-blade razors every month. I'm gone through like 2 packs, and I've been in it for 6 months. So I have a backup of razors now because I can't shave enough for the amount that they send you for the price that you pay. It's wonderful. They're fantastic and cheap.
There's 6 blades?
Yeah, the highest tier one is 6 blade.
Wow.
I keep thinking about doing that. Everybody I talk to who does it says they really like Dollar Shave.
It's great. It's fantastic. And not only that, the commercial is amazing.
But I don't shave all that often, so like I don't require that many razor blades.
So get one of the ones that only has 4 blades.
Well, I mean, do you think that 6 blades really makes that big of a difference?
The difference between I haven't tried their double yet. I have their humble twin as well. So they have 3 tiers. It's the twin, the 4X, or the executive. So the twin is a 2-blade razor, the 4X is 4-blade razor, and the executive is a 6-blade razor, and it's their different price tiers. I've used the difference, the 4X to the executive. You can tell the difference. The 4X works wonderfully, but the executive just works that much smoother. I have not gone to the twin yet because I'm kind of afraid. But don't you remember trying razors throughout time when the Mach 3 came out, and then the Mach 3 Turbo, and now the Mach... whatever the hell the new Mach is, and it's a 5-blade razor. I upgrade every razor I can get. Razor burn is a big problem that I run into.
Right.
I don't ever really have that problem.
I do. I have the problem constantly. And it's the better the blade I get, the less razor burn, so I keep going for new blades. The newer, the better blade, I got to try it because I got to see if it's going to help.
Well, how about instead of buying blades, like 6 blades or whatever, go back down to 1, but like a safety razor, or
shave more often,
or you know, like when you go to the barber and they give you like a straight shave,
right?
Like
that was going to be exactly
the best thing in the world,
right?
I've never gotten one of those. The closest I've had is a straight razor on the back of my neck and in the spots of my ears when they do it at the barbershop in town. Other than that, I have never gone to a barbershop and gotten a full...
Right.
Because they only use 1 blade, and it's an amazingly awesome
But
shave.
don't other people have to do it, though, to make it, like, really that effective?
I don't
No.
think so.
Won't I, like, kill myself? If I try to go shave myself right now with 1 blade, I will end up dead.
The thing
well,
is with those,
yeah.
with those
Yeah.
blades, you can buy like a pack on Amazon, a pack of blades, like 100 for $1, and they'll last. It's gonna last you all year. So you just swap out the blade and you keep the razor. The razor itself is probably like $20. It's weighed in and it's real old school. It's really nice. I have a razor like that.
Do you shave with that?
No.
So, if you have a razor like that, why do you not shave with it if it's that much
It
better?
just my brother bought it for me, and it was a great gift. It's just a lot of work. Like I keep my razor in the shower and I just shave in the shower, but his is so fancy. Like I don't want to leave it in the shower.
So,
You know?
Mike and Mark, where do you shave?
At the sink.
Yeah, sometimes in the shower, sometimes in the sink.
See, I'm a shower, all the way shower. I cannot shave at the sink anymore because my skin
I don't
doesn't
ever
get...
shave in the shower.
My skin does not, like, I will get the worst razor burn and razor bumps if I don't shave in the shower.
Yeah.
In the shower, the pain that I have is my mirrors, no matter how, steam-proof mirrors or whatever they are, it's still after a couple months it will get like all coated with film and you won't be able to use it anymore. You have to buy a new one.
Well, and that was going to be my question. Do you guys like carry a mirror into the shower? Like,
I have a shower mirror. It's just I need to get a new one at this point.
Brian?
I bought a cheapy guy again on Amazon. It was like $7. And I'm just really repping some companies today.
You could also buy that cheap mirror from
Yeah.
Amazon using our Amazon link at our website.
WDWKpodcast.com. Click on the Amazon widget at the right-hand side of the page. Search for shower mirrors.
So it's just plastic, and they actually say like we can't defeat the steam. So what you do is it's like no, they just like all you have to do is just put the back of it on the hot water. It unsteams it, and then you got about like 2 to 3 minutes of like a clean mirror, and then I shave. I'm done. I put it back, and it's perfect. It doesn't need to be cleaned. It's
Wait, what are you supposed to do with it to make it?
You just run it under the hot water.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
see-
it matches the temperature.
Yeah, exactly.
See, mine, I have to like. What I ended up finding out to do is if you dump some shampoo on it, the shampoo for some reason doesn't like coat over with
Yeah,
the steam, so you can see yourself in it while you shave, and then
Oh,
I
wow.
put it back. So that works for me for now, but I need to get a new one. It works great for like a month, and then it got all like the steam would get built up on it, and then
And it
the
just gets
soap
like,
scum
yeah. They
gets
say
on it. Yeah.
toothpaste will clean that pretty well if you use toothpaste. Probably can buy some on Amazon.
Mike, I can't believe
WDWKpodcast.com.
I
Click on
can't
the Amazon
believe you
widget
don't
right-hand side of
shave
it.
in the shower, Mike.
I don't shave in the shower. I just shave before I shower. Always.
Not
Well,
after.
sometimes I use an electric shaver as well.
No, can't do it. Not close enough.
You know what? I actually have a really nice electric shaver, and I've just never gotten in the habit. I mean, those of you who watch the podcast on YouTube know there are times I go like a week without shaving. It's just, I don't shave every day. Like if I shaved every day and I could get used to the electric shaver, that would be one thing. But I just shave every so often whenever it starts bugging me and it gets itchy. That's when I shave. So the electric shaver, they say you're supposed to shave with it every day for like 2 weeks to make your skin used to it. I will never ever do that.
Really? I've never. Actually, I find it like less irritating than a razor.
Oh no,
Just
I find
usually
it
doesn't cut as close.
way
Like,
more.
You talk about razor burn, but I mean, basically, when you shave with 6 razors, you're cutting like 6 layers of skin. With electric shaver, it doesn't get that close.
But doesn't it bother you? Doesn't the stubble bother you? I hate stubble. It like feels so.
I don't really have that much facial hair.
Like
Doesn't
Pernak.
bug me at all.
Pernak used to shave in the car every single day on the way to work. Not that that man grows that much facial hair, but it's like certain spots on his face he grew enough that he has to shave every day. And every day in the car you'd tell me drive to work shaving, and I'm like, how the hell can you do that? Like I can't.
And by the way, this is like kind of a weird situation that I'm talking to people who look at me on YouTube on a semi-regular basis, but you kind of see that like my facial hair, this part is like at unusual growth patterns on different days that we, talk on this podcast. It's because I don't shave at regular intervals. Facial hair doesn't really bother me, and when it starts getting to the point where it's too long and it starts getting itchy, well, that's just when I shave. So if I just like let stubble grow, like a day's stubble, that doesn't bother me at all. Usually I shave probably like once a week, maybe 1.5 times a week, roughly.
What? Okay. When your beard grows out, right? Do you grow like basically straight hair or curly hair? I wonder if that makes a difference.
I actually grow a pretty full beard that sort of resembles this. Like if that helps you.
Is it like, is the hair on your face straight or is it curly?
It's fairly straight, yeah.
How about you, Jeff, or do you know?
I mean, I can't keep mine long enough because I have to shave mine for the fire department. I'm not allowed to go anywhere but clean shaven to the fire department because of the fact of
Why?
I thought you had to have a mustache to be a firefighter.
Well, actually, I take that back. You can have a mustache to be there, but you need to get a seal with your mask, your breathing mask for your SCBA. They can't guarantee that a seal. Even though I took my initial test, it was funny. I went into the place because I didn't know this at the time. When I went in to take my test to make sure that I had the proper fit mask and a seal and everything, and I had a chin strap at the time. And I went in there, and the guy let me take the thing, and I passed it just fine. Like all the markings were on the paper were good, but you're not allowed to have it. As an EMT, they let me get away with it for a while, but once I became a firefighter itself, even though as an EMT you theoretically might have to throw a mask on and go into a situation where there's like a poisonous gases or something like that you need to deal with, or a CO call or something. But as a firefighter, they won't let you on the rig without being clean shaven because got to make sure you can breathe.
So is there like a fire alarm ringing and you're like, oh, one moment?
Well, I mean, hopefully not, because I can't show up to the fire. If I show up to the fire station not clean shaven, they would not put me on the apparatus until I was clean shaven. So,
Wow.
No.
That's a great way to get out of work.
I mean, yeah, but it's volunteer, so it's not really work. And if it was my job, they'd probably be more disciplinary action held against you if that was the case. Yeah, burning hair doesn't smell good either, somebody in the chat just said, which is very accurate.
No, it definitely doesn't. I've
Hey, you know what?
I've worked jobs where I've burnt hair off myself, and that is an awful smell.
I've worked grills where I burnt hair off myself, mainly in the facial region.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
I don't have an ignite button. Do you guys have grills that the ignite button actually works on?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever owned a grill that the ignite button worked on for more than like a week. It's all about dropping matches in there after I had it lit up for a while.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
really
well,
not that hard to make
Charcoal
Charcoal. Wee.
doesn't ignite that way.
Just a wire brush makes that work most of the
Yeah,
time.
you would think that it sparks. The thing sparks. I look at it. It sparks. It just for some reason is in a position in any grill I've ever owned that doesn't regularly light the grill. So I'll be like click, 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 click. Ah, screw it. Throw it like a match.
And then that's when it
Grills
goes
are
boosh.
combined.
Yeah, it does too. It does. It goes boosh, and eyebrows go away, and
I've never had a grill that didn't work on.
yeah, this is a Weber too. I've had a Charbroil, like one of those cheap ones, did the exact same thing. This one's a Weber. It's a fancy Weber. Weber, by the way, you can sponsor us as well.
I have a Charbroil grill, and it works awesome.
My
Char-
Weber works.
Way to go. Sponsor us.
I used to own a Weber, and I would turn on the gas, and then I would turn it on high, and then I would hit the spark, and it would lift the lid every once in a while.
Did you do that as a kid because you thought it was cool, or as an adult
Yeah,
because
I mean,
you
you're
thought
not supposed to do it. You're supposed to have it open because, of course, it could explode and the lid could fly in your face. But that's how I used to light the grill. Kaboom!
Nice. You guys had an awesome porch and deck at your house for grilling.
Right. We used to grill almost every day. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I love grilling.
I don't have a grill now. I just cook everything in a crock pot, so it's not quite the same explosion.
Usually the crock pot, the slow cookers don't normally have as crazy of an explosion.
Oh, we
It's
grill
like a
a lot.
slow explosion.
Let's say it has a very slow explosion.
Whenever I answer the phone, I'm like, hello.
What pissed you off?
It's a great argument to have.
I love my mom, but I think she's half crazy for doing that.
How dare you?
Do you work with your girlfriend, Mark? Or your wife?
I keep them separated. Sometimes I call people, they don't answer the phone. I'm like,
Wrong number, click.
Well, he's not that smart. But sometimes he sounds like he knows what he's doing.
Go.
Therefore, you're an ass, and I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah, but what do we know?